Race number 9 of the Gatorade Cup Series, season number 13, heads to the Hattiesburg Speedway in Mississippi for the running of the Verizon 400. On pole for today's race, the 17 of Roman Fenway, beside him in second, the 54 of Sebastian Kukulan. Then in third place, it's Code Luigi, fourth place for Caden Lynn, and rounding out the front five, the 20 of Riley Cresswell. Then in sixth place, we have Nottingham Scott, seventh, it's Jay Jefferson, BB Ruiz starts in eighth, ninth place for Scott Gregory, and Samet Oskin, the 15, rounds out the top 10. Back behind them for the rest of the field, Riley Sampson, who's outside the 8 of Conrad Evans. Then we have Derek Himmel, the 32, and the 9 of Jeff Bright. Then there's Anton and Charles Bois and Brickyard winner TJ Hanley. Then we have Brandon Beal and the 47 of Logan Williams, along with Diego Yepes and the 4 of John Smith. Then we have Evan Hunter, the 6, and the 12 of Levi Shones. Then there's Anthony Hernandez and the 18 of Jonathan Buford, along with Ross McTrain and Griffin Lynn in the 36. Then there's Brett Sierra and the 2 of Luke Rainey. Then we have Riley Spraytube and Justin Zidell, the 88 of Eli Bright and the 14 of Marshall Burrell, Zach DeLello and Cody Anderson, Jay Rando, our points leader, and Colin Teague. Second in points, Max Anderson, Bronson Minnick, Keegan Thompson, Max Rossi. In the final row, 41st, Nathan Baird, 42nd for the 11 of Jake Galloway. There's our 42 car field for racing here at Hattiesburg for race number 9 of the Gatorade Cup Series season. Let's go on tracks after those famous words to fire these engines up.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines are fired up and we're rolling here at Hattiesburg for racing at this 1.2 mile oval, 51 laps at this uniquely shaped racetrack. It's a very unique one for sure, and we'll see who can get to victory lane here as the two drivers that are in the front row, Roman Fenway, Sebastian Kukulan, have the best shots. Track position means a lot at a track like this. We'll see if they can hold it or if someone can try and come and slice their way through the field. To the green flag, we're racing at Hattiesburg. Already a challenge for the lead. Code Luigi trying to get inside of Roman Fenway to turns 3 and 4. He stays beneath the 17. He started third in this race, already has 2 wins this season. But off the fourth corner, Code Luigi leads the first lap here in Hattiesburg. Cresswell looking for second. Jay Jefferson up into the top 5 to 4th. Early on, already some passes being made, some 3 wide further back in the pack. It looked like the 14 of Marshall Burrow got forced out. 66 as well is in the middle. Now against Scott down low. The 9 of Jeff Bright goes 3 wide. 96, Anson and Charles Bois, Yepes and others trying to make their way forward on the inside. Scott runs Lynn up wide in the 37. Caden keeps it out of the wall, and they're almost going 4 wide back here. Anson and Charles Bois sideways off the corner, almost into BB Ruiz. They keep it going straight, but this is crazy battling inside the top 20. That's inside the top 15 as well. His lead change at the front. Luigi lost it to Riley Cresswell, the rookie out in front. His teammate Jefferson falls through to second. Kukulan back up to third. Here comes Luigi's teammate Scott Gregory looking for fourth. And Jeff Bright looking for a move on our pulser Roman Fenway. Jeff just got up inside the top 10, the 9. He's making his way forward early on after starting on the inside row as Riley Sampson looks on Code Luigi for 5th. So that 42 led the first lap of this race, but now on the fallback, Cresswell continues to lead. Luigi now back to 6th. Fall back now even further. Fenway to 6th. Jeff Bright to 7th. Oskin for 8th. That 42 struggling at this stage in the race. 4nd, Kukulan, low on Jefferson to turn 3. A little bit behind them for 4th, Sampson underneath Scott Gregory. Into the wall for Code Luigi. That 42 still dropping back, and now he's going to fall back even more. So started 3rd, led the first lap, but it's not been a great last few laps for Code. Back to 13th, now 14th as the 13 moves around. He can try and get down back there. Hanley and Luke Rainey sideways. Control their car, some contact maybe between those two pseudo teammates. Brandon Bill 62 trying to move forward. Kind of log jam in front of him. Luke's gonna go wide. Luke did really well in this race last season. Ran up at the front for basically the whole race. So going to try and repeat that success here this season. Everybody's going to come from a little bit further back in the pack. Up to the front again. Still Cresswell leading. Here comes Kukulan looking to shoot the middle as Jefferson gets underneath them, but Kukulan can't make the pass on the 20. Can he clear the 19 to make a move in turns 3 and 4? He will clear. Now can he look low on the 20 is the question. The big thing here is trying to keep your momentum up while also being able to maintain the bottom of the racetrack. The bottom is so much faster than the top, but these cars naturally slide up to the outside. Makes it very, very hard to make passes here, but also if you keep that bottom working, you can maintain your car on the bottom. You can definitely make it work. Cresswell again oversteps the boundaries. Kukulon, though, just not low enough to make a move. That time, though, he got a nice run off to and down the backstretch. Kukulon stepping out, Jefferson with them. Cresswell almost into the wall in the 20, and Kukulon on lap number 7. He'll lead his first laps of the day here in Hattiesburg, and Jefferson beneath teammate Cresswell for second. Foul for 5th, Scott Gregory moving by Jeff Wright. Scott to 5th, Jeff to 6th. Anthony Traubois to 7th. Caden Lynn back up to 8th. Yepez is 9th. Right now, Nottingham Scott in 10th. Oskin 11th. Evans looking for 12th on Hernandez. Coluigi back to 14th. TJ Henley just outside the top 15 and Pulsar Roman Fenway with his teammate Evan Hunter. They're right now 17th and 18th. They've run together a lot this season. They've been on top of each other, and they're hoping they can get further up to the front here and try and maintain this at the top 10. Cresswell's falling back, but now looking to get some of the spots back as Jay Jefferson leads in the 19. He got by the 54 of Kukulon. Is now in the fade back. Here comes Scott Gregory and Jeff Wright to make it 3 wide on the 54. Some contact between the 1 and the 9. Kukulon falling back. Here comes Anson and Traubois to make it a 4-car race in the 96. Jeff gets those spots from the 54 and the 1. Moves Jeff up to 4th. Meanwhile, at the front, Jefferson led, but now Riley Sampson moves out front, and car number 38 leads this race. 10 laps down next time by. And these drivers will definitely need to make pit stops here tonight. The thing is, it's probably going to be about 30 laps. 33 laps of a fuel window here. So they can get past halfway. We'll have to see if we get yellow what happens, and if it stays green, when do these drivers pit? Because these tires wear a lot here, and you're going to want to get some fresh rubber on sooner rather than later. The tire wear means a lot here, and you can already see it with the lap times. They're running at least half a second off the pace, if not more. And back to the back of the field is where some big names lie. You have Derek Kimmel, Jake Gowie back here, Cody Harrison, Brett Sierra. There's points leader Jay Randall back in 38th. He's back here with Spurlington and Baird, Jonathan Beefer, Keegan Thompson, and the 3 of Minnick. Try to carve their way up. Max Harrison's done a decent job at this. He came in 2nd in points and started back, way back in the field. The front 2 points started poorly in this race, but Max Harrison has done a decent job making his way through the field up to 26th in this 43. Has the top 20 just in front of him. Coluigi, who started 3rd in this race, is fading back, and Roman Fenway started on pole, has faded back even further. And Fenway's back outside the top 20. Coluigi now back outside the top 20 as well, so those are 2 drivers that are inside the top 3. They're both now on the fade back. Kukulon started this race in 2nd, back to 12th for the 54 driver. Samet Oz moved to 10th, but now under fire. Is back up to the front. Cresswell moves away in the 20, gets a massive lead over about for 2nd. Sampson has it. Traubois wants it as Sampson climbs the banking. Ansonen gets by. Here comes Jeff Wright for 3rd in the 9. You can already see them sliding sideways off these corners. Once again, half a second off the pace already, and these tires will continue to wear out. There is extreme wear for these drivers and these tires here at Hattiesburg. So once you're within your fuel window, you definitely want to try and make a pit stop. That begs the question, do people try and short pit? Do they pit around halfway? Do they stay out because the yellow flag would try to be a lap or 2 down here? Balance at the top 10. Now against Scott under fire from Jay Jefferson. Anthony Hernandez watching on to the 13. As Jefferson got to the bumper of Scott, but couldn't do anything. Maybe some grip lacking in that 19. But these drivers did a nice job running that 20 of Cresswell back down. He had a massive lead, but now they're starting to gain that ground back as Jeff Wright's under fire from Diego Yepez for 4th, but Jeff able to keep it as the 34 cannot hold the bottom off turn 2. Now Anson gaining onto their teammate Riley Cresswell. Riley Sampson waiting in the 38 as well as they race off 4. Cresswell again wider. Traubois a nice exit in the 96, looking to try and get to the inside of turns 1 and 2 this time by. A great run off to the first corner for Ansonen. He's looking inside the 20. He'll stay behind him for now. Cresswell did a nice job getting down to the bottom of the racetrack in turn 2 right there, making sure he didn't give time up on exit. Again, that's the big thing. You want to get to the bottom lane here. That is where you can make the most speed, and it just gets harder the more these tires wear out, but Cresswell's done a nice job being able to maintain that bottom lane out in front. We've seen many times already this race where drivers have overstepped it, gotten out of the groove. Still the front four, riding single file. Then Yepez in 5th, Caden Lynn in 6th, Scott in 7th, Jefferson 8th, Hernandez 9th, and 10th place for Samet Oskin. Then Kukulon right now in 11th, Scott Gregory 12th, Conrad Evans 13th, Evan Hunter 14th, and about John Smith, that's 14th and 15th. Then Logan Williams, TJ Hanley, Eli Bright, Ross McTrain, and Brandon Fielder top 20. Bring him to 21st, Rossi down to 22nd, Max Anderson moves up to 23rd, Scott by Bibi Ruiz, Del Ludlow trying to make his way forward, Colucci slipped back outside the top 25, just inside Del the 41 to his inside, same with the 12 of Levi Shones, Roman Fenway now back to 30th, maybe even further back, as he's under fire from Riley's Bridge, Fenway now back outside the top 30, he started on pole in the 17. There are points there, Jay Brando's not made any progress, 37th, he passed Nathan Baird, and that's it. Right now back in 42nd, still Derek Kenley's actually bound with Coach Peterson right now for that spot. For the lead, Anson in trouble again, peeking his nose in the 96 out, trying to show his Toyota teammate Cresswell that he is faster. But still, Cresswell holds him at bay. Those tires working for the 20 right now. Top 9 have gotten away. 10th place Kukulon, a good ways back in the 54. Right now it's a 9-car race. Look at that 13 Hernandez, able to just cut to the bottom of the 19 and the 66 both. He gets by Jefferson, gets by Scott for 7th, so a great run there for the 13 Fernandez. Now for 2nd might soon be raging on because Sampson might be getting a little patient behind that 96 Manson and Charles. Sampson wants to get up to the front and quick. Next time by 20 laps down here in Hattiesburg. Caution free so far in these laps. Riley Cresswell has led the most so far today. However, still pit stops left to be determined, and also the tire strategy. Who pits sooner, who pits later? Turn 1 again. Anson and Charles to the bottom. Can't get back in the gas though. Cresswell did a better job at it in the 20. Yepez moves to 4th. Get by Jeff Bright, who's now under fire for 5th. Caden Lynn to his inside the 37. 30 laps to go at the line. Caden Lynn will move to 5th. Jeff Bright's looking for redemption from the Target Series race here. Ray ran up inside the top 10 all day, but had to pit late in the race for fueling. Got down around 39th or 40th, so Jeff really wants a good run here, and teammates battle for 3rd. Yepez, maybe with a longer run race car, trying to gain on teammate Riley Sampson, as still the 2 Toyotas lead the way. This pack of cars is just getting crazy. Look at Colucci how far back he's fallen, back outside the top 30. So that 42, he got into the wall early on. I'm wondering if that is really, really hindering the speed of that 42, the handling as well. That car might be a lot tighter than what he wants it to be with that damage on the right side, because he pounded the wall and stayed in it all throughout 3 and 4. So Colucci not having the day he wanted to turn up in 3rd. It's kind of been the type of season for Code, though. He's won 2 races, however, the other races where, you know, he's just not run well. You know, it's either been he's won races or he's finished outside the top 20 or 30. Jack Reiner fired now for 6th, and Anthony Hernandez moving to the inside of the 13 to get the power down, and Jefferson now moves to the bumper for the 13, and here comes 9 against Scott as well. It's still those 9 that have pulled away from 10th on back. 10th place right now, the 54 of Kukulon. He has a nice gap over 11th, Samet Oskin. John Smith up to 12th. Bound for 13th. Williams is inside of Scott Gregory. Conrad Evans right now the top 15th. Luke Brady up to 16th. Ross McTrain right now 17th. Hanley's going to be 18th. Brandon Beal for that spot though in 19th. And Max Rossi back up inside the top 20. Gets by Eli Bright, Bibi Ruiz, Levi Shones, Justin Seidel. Now Roman Fenway slots in 25th. Max Anderson second in points, entering right now in the 27th position. Evan Hunter's falling back outside the top 25. And points here, Rando is now bound with Colucci for 34th and 35th. So it's not been a good day for the front 2 points. Battle for 2nd. Sampson's there. A bumper to the 96. Charles saves it. Keeps it in 2nd for now. And right here, 25 laps down to the 51-lap race. We're basically halfway done now. So at this point, if you pit, you can make it on fuel and tires. And that's big because these drivers are going to want 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. The question is, who's the first to break down the pit road? Because you want to be the first, that's for sure. I don't think you want to wait to try and make it. If you wait, I mean, you're going to lose so much time. I don't know if you can gain it back. It's kind of like rocking it. You know, we've seen people short pit there in the past, and it works out for them. Kukulon's the first to break down from 10th. So right here, he's in a world of his own. He's going to come down pit road from 10th spot. He's going to try and get those tires. We'll see what this does, right? He was so far back in the top 9. If these tires work out like they should, they've fallen off a second, he might be up in that main pack. Charles looks like he might be trying to undercut the race leader. He is. 96.37 will hit pit road. I think that's definitely going to get Charles the race lead. That 20 is going to be staying out. 96.37, 9.66 all come in. Right now, just those four. 15, 4, 47 to 1. So a lot of the drivers coming in this time by. And they could go to lap 30. They just don't want to on these tires. A lot of cars in. These are a lot of drivers that were struggling as well. So Cresswell's pitting. Does anyone stay out any longer to maybe try and overcut? I don't know if that's wise, though. I think everyone you're going to see on pit road this time. So if they hadn't already pitted, they're definitely coming in this time. And it looks like every car will make a stop within those laps. So Kukulan, the first to pit in the 54. Going to try and cycle around here. We'll see where he comes out, along with this 96 of Anton and Charles, who right here is leaving pit road. It might have been a problem on the 54. Looks like he had a slower pit stop for Kukulan. We'll have to see. Or maybe not. We'll see where that 54 comes out. So there's Kukulan. Come around, he'll pass John Smith. He'll come out with some Oskin and pull away from him. So really, it did gain him a little bit, but didn't gain him enough. I think, though, this 96 is going to be the race there because Riley Cresswell came in a lap later, and Cresswell's leaving, and it might be under fire from Riley Sampson as well. That 38 had a decent pit stop. So Cresswell will get on the gas now. Jefferson loses time on pit road in the 19. Cresswell leaves with Sampson in tow. Where does Anson and Charles the others that pit a lap sooner, come into play? Here's Cresswell. There's Charles. He's by. Can Caden Lynn get around that 37? He'll get to third, and that's going to be it. He might actually get to the wall if he's not careful. A great job keeping out of the wall. He'll stay in third off Riley Sampson. So this will put Anson and Charles on the 96 out in front. That one lap, he went from on the bumper behind to now a second out in front. Once again, the tires fell off about a second. But right there, that's not what Charles needed. He messed up 1 and 2. Cresswell did not. He'll gain a nice chunk there. Lynn under fire from Riley Sampson. Jeff Wright also on the same strategy as the 96. For Kukulan, it does work out in the 54. He's up bound with the 13 of Anthony Nez now, so it didn't look like it was going to work out first, but it does for Kukulan. He's now flying under the 13 as the 13 still trying to get heat in his tires. That worked out for Kukulan pretty well in that 54. He's now bound with Anthony Nez for 6th. He'll get to 6th. There comes Scott, Yepez, Jefferson right now back in 10th and 19. He had a slow pit stop. He came in one of the later ones. So Matt Osgood looking to his inside on the 15. Close racing there for a top 10. So we'll see if Cresswell on one lap fresher tires can run Anson and Charles down. But will that one lap matter is the question, right? It's one lap. Will that matter in time? It matters when you run it out, right? When you run it out and you're running a second slower, you come in one lap sooner, that matters a lot. That's a second. If you pit one lap later, that doesn't really matter on the longer run. It's one lap. So we'll have to see if it works out. You can see Jeff Bright's trying to pass Riley Sampson for 4th here. Jeff is on the same stretch as the 96 and the 37, where they pitted sooner than anyone. He's ran his fastest lap, last race of the race. Yeah, his fastest lap, last lap. And right here, Caden Lynn on the stretch of the 96, moving beside Riley Cresswell is the last car to pit. Sprague's not working. This strategy not working for the 20 car at all. He's going to fade back. He's back to 4th, back to 5th. Cresswell's strategy does not work out. Colucci back in 42nd after leading the first lap of this race. Back with Beal and Burrow and Sierra, Hamill and Anderson, Spurley 2. There's Roman Fenway, our pulser back outside the top 30. Scott Gregory's back outside the top 25. He was running well. Conrad Evans the same story in the 8. They were both up inside the top 15. They're outside the top 25 now. That might just be the tire strategy. How about Jay Rando? He pitted sooner, got up inside the top 25 in that 53. Max Harrison was top 20 until he just got passed by a few cars. You have Luke Rainey right now in 16th. Eli Bright solidly inside the top 15. Logan Williams, Max Rossi. So some drivers made that undercut work for them. John Smith up inside the top 10 in the 4. Kukulan, he's starting to see the effects of his tires as he pitted sooner than anyone. He was the only car in pit road on his lap. He's now back to 9th. And I mean, he came in 10th, so I think it's going to work out for him even if he doesn't gain anything. I don't think he'll lose anything as he has moves for 7th on Nottingham Scott. Back up to the lead as we got battle for 4th. Jeff Wright and Riley Cresswell. Jeff able to keep it off the 20 for now, but Caden Lynn has closed up on Anson and Charles. Riley Sampson coming with them, and Sampson on fresher tires than those two. We'll see if he can try and make something work. It looks like there's going to be the 20s to try and battle them, but Cresswell fell back, now in a fight for fourth with Jeff Bright. He might be able to get it this time. Jeff goes wide. But Cresswell couldn't really take that much of an advantage to get to the inside. He's sideways off the corner. Still back here. Hannigan, Scott, and Anthony are not giving themselves up. That's 7th, 8th, and then 9th place is Sebastian Kukulon. 15 laps to go this time by. 3-car race. Anson and Charbois. Caden Lynn has never won in. Riley Sampson. To the inside for Caden Lynn. He'll move by Anson and Charbois. Lynn out in front late here in Hattiesburg. Can Caden Lynn win his first ever race? Cresswell looking for fourth again on Jeff Bright, but the 9 still trying to fend him off. Cresswell drives in the deep, almost gets into the 9, and Jeff keeps the spot. Now what can Sampson do? He's up to second behind Caden Lynn. Remember, freshest tires at the top 3 to that 38 car. 3796 are the most worn of those front 3. Nicely for Caden Lynn through 1 and 2. Riley Sampson a little bit wider. Anson and Charbois to his bumper in the 96. Still the battle for fourth raging on. Cresswell might be getting a little patient with Jeff Bright. Yeah, because this bound right here, if he can't get around him, Yepes is going to pounce. And then maybe Scott. And then maybe Kukulon. Hernandez has fallen back to 9th. Jefferson back up to 10th by John Smith. And time is running out for Cresswell, right? If he doesn't make this pass in the 9. If Jeff Bright keeps messing up 1 and 2, I think Jeff is, I mean, he's just as good as the 20. He just keeps messing up 1 and 2. That time was better for the 9 through 1 and 2. I think the 9 was just as fast as the 20 if he didn't make those mistakes. Charbois showing the nose to the 37, saying maybe I was a little bit faster that time off turn 2, but couldn't make it stick. And Lynn pulls away in that 37. We're nearing the final 10 laps of this race. Who has a shot? Glory? Who's going to be heartbroken? Saw late in the last run, being out front at the end was the best place to be because it was hard to pass. That is why Anson Charbois is racing Caden Lynn so aggressively for this top spot. He wants it. We're entering the final 10 laps. We're entering the time when tires are going to start to wear out so hugely that you can't pass. It's going to be so hard to pass. Now Caden Lynn's under fire from Riley Sampson as Anson Charbois moves back out in front with 11 to go. Can the 96 pull away? Can Sampson get up to second and try and challenge that 96 car? Sampson to P2, and here comes Jeff Bright for third. Can Jeff make it stick to try and have a shot at the front 2? Caden got a nice run off the top of turn 2, but Jeff's going to try and bear it to the bottom. Lynn into the wall. From third, Caden Lynn into the wall. Might fall inside the top 5 because here comes Yepes to his inside. Lynn back to 6th, and how bad's that damage going to affect the handling of that race car now? That was bad for Caden Lynn. He did not want that. I think he threw away a top 5 right there. He might fall back outside the top 7, top 8, top 9. Jefferson right now in 10th. John Smith looking for that spot. Max Rossi, Eli Bright up to 13th. Just got by Cement Oskin. Logan Williams holds the bottom spot inside the top 15 just in front of Luke Rainey. Bibby Royce and Justin Zidell battle. Max Aronson right now 21st. He'll gain points on Jay Rando, who's right now back in the 27th position. Hanley back here as well, winner in Indianapolis. Hunter back here. Roman Fenway in the middle of 3. Remember, he started on pole. But Scott Greger, and Conrad Evans have fallen, and they're up inside the top 10, top 15 early on in this race. Same with Colucci right now back in 41st, trying to stay ahead of Brandon Beal. Cresswell finally gets by Jeff Bright. Now, there's a bit of Riley Sampson. He's going to make it work right there, but he has to hurry now. He has fallen so far off the 96 because of that battling. That 96 has to be at least a second in front, if not more. At the stripe, 1 second is the margin for Cresswell to gain. Jeff Bright moves to 3rd. Yepes now 4th. Sampson in a battle for 5th with Caden Lynn. Jeff Bright might try to battle Riley Cresswell. When he gets to the inside of the 20, Cresswell cannot shake the 9. Jeff Bright back to 2nd, but Anson and Charbois is long gone the 96. And that's going to be hard to run him down. He's going to make some big mistakes. 1 1/4 seconds. And Cresswell now back to 4th. Yepes moves to 3rd. Yepes has a shot for 2nd here. Charbois off turn number 2 cleanly. 6 laps to go at the line. Caden Lynn's doing a nice job staying with the front 5. I thought that with that damage after getting to the wall, it was maybe going to affect him, but he's done a nice job keeping that car up into the top 6. Scott right now 7th. Hernandez, Kukulon, and here's Eli Bright looking for a top 10. That 88 was really no one at the start of this race. He was not doing well. He's up to 10th now. He's got by Jay Jefferson for that spot. So that 88 has come alive in this last half. They must have made some really, really good adjustments on that pit stop. Jeff Bright last time gained a 10th and a half. But he needs more than that if he wants to get up and try and challenge. What he needs is for them to start battling for third so he can try and get away without any consequences. Right now, he's definitely looking at his mirror, making sure Yepez isn't trying to pass him. See what the gap is as they get to 5 to go. He gained a lot that time. That's what he needs. He needs to continue that, but Yepez looking to his inside. That's going to ruin. Oh, man. Yep. He did not need that. They did not need that. They were running them down. Then they start battling for second. They need to clear this battle fast. If they just keep doing this, Charlevoix pulls away. Yepez to second, but they were within 9/10. Now this time it's probably going to be back up to a second at least. 4 to go. Yep, back up to 1.12. So every bit of time they gained in that last lap, they lost all of it in this last lap. And Jeff Bright's lost spots, back to 5th now in the 9, under fire from Caden Lynn. Caden will slot in 6th. So can Yepez be the one to run Anson and Charlevoix down? The time is running out though. 3 laps to go. He has to gain a second and then some. The gap is now 1 second. He gained just over a 10th, but he needs more than that. He needs tenths. That might help him. Charlevoix messes up 1 and 2. That's going to be a nice chunk for Yepez. The question is, does he have the time to get by this 96? He's had one of the faster long-run cars here today, so we'll have to see. Sampson wide for 4th. Jeff Bright gets the spot easily. Yepez gains. He can see Charlevoix in his sights. This time by 2 laps left. Just over 2 miles remain. The gap down to half a second, but about for second. Creswell looking inside Yepez. The 34 trying to keep it off the 20, and Charlevoix pulls away. And Jeff Bright's going to look for 3rd now. This has not been good at all for anyone back in this pack. We're come to the white flag. Anson and Charlevoix may have played the strategy perfectly. Off of 4. One more timer on Hattiesburg for Anson and Charlevoix. The gap back to Yepez, about half a second, if not more. It is half a second. But unless the 96 makes some huge mistake, he's won this race perfectly through 1 and 2. Yepez is the one to make the mistake. Down the backstretch for the final time for Anson and Charlevoix. Riley Cresswell dominated the first half of this race, but the 96 strategy is going to dominate the second half. Off of 4 for the final time. Pitting sooner, the undercut works for Anson and Charlevoix. Down the front stretch, the checkered flag is his at Hattiesburg. Anson and Charlevoix gets it done here at Hattiesburg in the Verizon 400. He goes to victory lane as Toyota dominates the day. He and Cresswell leading the most laps. Yepez, Jeff Bright round out the top 3. Let's go see the finish results and the update points. Here's how they finished in the Verizon 400 at the Hattiesburg Speedway. No caution flags today, and 8 lead changes. 7 different drivers saw this lead at some point in this race. And the one who reigned supreme, Anson and Charlevoix, dominated the latter half of this race as he played the right pit strategy. Went in 1 lap sooner than our race leader Riley Cresswell to pit road, and that 1 lap on tires was able to keep him out front as they battled for second behind. Yepez ends up in second. He's the one to try and run down that 96, but just couldn't do it. There's too much battling in that pack. Jeff Bright was also trying there at the end, but he got passed late, but gets back up to 3rd. Riley Cresswell led the most laps, 22 here today, but ends up in 4th as the strategy did not work out for him, and Caden Lynn completes the top 5. Riley Sampson gets 6th, Nongun Scott 7th, Anthony Hernandez, Sebastian Kukulon, and Eli Bright complete the top 10. So for Kukulon, that worked out for him in the 54. He came in 1 lap earlier than anyone. He was the first car on pit road, and it works out for him in the 54. He ends up 9th. He was 10th when he pitted, and not within sights of anyone in front of him. He actually finished within 3/10 of Anthony Hernandez. Eli Bright with a really, really good job there in the 88, came from 31st to get to 10th. Jake Jefferson just outside the top 10, 11th. He ran top 10 pretty much all day until the end. John Smith, Luke Rainey at top 13. How about that for the 2 car? He gained there at the end. Logan Williams Smith Oskin complete the top 15. And for Max Anderson, good points day, 20th place for him. After starting back in 37th in the 43, he played the strategy right. Jay Randall points leader, gets 25th. Jake Galway started last, 24th for him. But some names that started up at the front. Scott Gregory started 9th in this race, but falls to finish in 29th. Roman Fenway from pole never got to lead lap, 33rd for him. Conrad Evans started 12th, 35th. Colucci 3rd, 38th. Sierra and Burrow could not make up any ground along with Brandon Beal and Cody Anderson. They all finished down the bottom 4 spots. Let's now go see the points after race 9. Here are the point standings 9 races into the Gatorade Cup Series season. It is still Jay Rando on top in the 53. The points it has slimmed down a little bit though. Rando now only a 16-point gap over Max Anderson, who maintains in second. But a bad day for both those drivers allows Max Rossi in third to close in. Anton Schaubar, winner today, to close in fourth. Pez gets fifth in points. Riley Cresswell, Sebastian Kukulan, TJ Hanley, Anthony Hernandez, and Nathan Baird complete the top 10 in points. Those top 10 within 72 points of each other. Very, very close still for all those spots. Think about some of the drivers. Anton Schaubar won here today. Pez got second. Cresswell got fourth. Kukulan got ninth. Anthony Hernandez a top 10. All those drivers, that's 5 of the top 10 in points that ran really, really well here today. Baby Ruiz, 20 points out of the top 10. 11th, Cole Luigi, another bad day. Falls to 12th. Those 2 wins might be a saving grace if he can maintain top 20 in points. Riley Spurley, another win in 13th. They have Colin Teague and Luke Green completing the top 15. Minnick, Sampson, Schultz, Hamill, and Jefferson are the top 20 in points. 2 wildcard spots go to Cole Luigi and Riley Spurley. Cole with his 2 wins, and Spurley with his Michigan win. Another winner, Marshall Burrow down 23rd. Jake Galloway 28th. Keegan Thompson 29th. So right now those winners desperately need to make up positions in points to try and get wildcard spots. It's down at the bottom. You have Sierra, Lynn Williams, and obviously Scott Gregory and Michael Gregory. So we're 9 races in. The next 2 races are going to be at the same racetrack. We're going to Iowa for a doubleheader. The first race is the Advanced Auto Parts 325. I'll see you guys then.